Hello fashion lovers, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be taking you guys on how to make this gown, a Halter backless gown. So stay tuned as we move right into it, okay? Do well to subscribe and turn on your notification button so that you get notified when next I upload a video. So guys, right now you can see that my material is already on fold, but I'm going to open it up so that you guys can see it very well. So when you open up your material like this, you pick one edge of the material. This is an Ankara material, so it's always 45 inches. The length is always 45 inches. So you pick one side of the fabric and then you fold it towards the other side. Okay, just fold it like this so that it can give you a triangular shape. It's going to be more like a triangular shape. All right, so once you place it on top of the other one like this, it's going to give you something like a triangular shape like this. So when you get this, now the next thing you have to do is to make sure that every place is in order, that there's no side folding or anything. Just make sure that the cloth is in order. So after this, you go ahead and bring your tape. You're going to place your tape from the top of this fabric now. Okay, your tape is going to be on the top of the fabric. You're not going to turn it around. We are getting the full length of the gown now, so I'm using the whole full length of this Ankara material, which is 45.5, or I think so, either 45 or 45.5. So I'm using that whole length because it's a gown that I'm making, and I'm still going to remove something from the up, so I'm going to use the whole full length. So right now I will not be moving the tape at the top. I'm not going to be moving it. I'll be moving the ones at the down only. So that top is going to be at a place. It's not going to move at all. You're not going to remove it. So you can see that my tape is still at the same point where it is in the top. Okay, I'm still going to hold it there like that, and then I'll be shifting the one at the down. All right, so that is how you're going to get your full length all round, so that you get the round shape very well. Okay, so I'll take this all round that down, and then I'll connect the lines together. So guys, once you're done connecting the lines together, once you're done joining them together, you go ahead and cut out the whole down. Okay, you can see me cutting out my own now. So we'll be left with just the material that we'll be needing now. Then the next thing is to divide my shoulder into two. Okay, I'll divide my shoulder plus half inches, that's 8.5, because my shoulder is 16 plus half inches is 8.5. So 8.5, I'm not going to go down. If you see now, if you go down too much, it's going to be 10 inches and it's more than it. So I'm going to take it up. So guys, just take it up so that the whole space will be just that 8.5 inches. If yours is 8 inches, the whole space there should be just 8 inches. Okay, and you can see that I did not draw a straight line, because if you do draw a straight line, the collar is not going to be straight. This collar should be somehow round. Okay, because of how we placed the material. So from the beginning, I'm going to place my tape from the top. I'm going to place my tape the same way we got our full length. That's the same way I'll be getting the shoulder for this style. Okay, so you are going to take it round. Whatever number you get at that edge, that's the same number you'll be working with. You get it round. Okay, so I'm going to also go down with 1.5 inches. That is going to be for the strap that I'll be passing through. Okay, so that will be for the strap that I'll be passing through. And you can see that, you notice that I also went round. It's not straight from the first line that I have. That's where I got this second line from. So right now, so if you want to make it longer, you're going to be using more than 2.5 inches, 2.5 yards. Okay, that's if you want yours to be longer, you're going to be using more than 2.5 yards. Mine is a short gown, so if you want it longer, you're going to be using more than 2.5 yards, maybe that kind 5 yards. That's if it's long gown you want, or maybe 6 yards, which means you're going to be joining some parts. All right, so I'm going to cut out the first line now. I'm cutting this out because it wasn't the same with the other one, so I have to just do away with it. But don't cut yours out, please. So after this, now the next thing I'll be doing is to get the back, okay? And for the back, you're not going to place your tape at the beginning line, you're going to place your tape at the second line, and I do not want my back to be that down, so I went with 12 inches here. So for me, I went with 12 inches. If you want yours to be sewed down, you can do 15 inches if you want. Just feel free and do what you want, okay? You can do 15. Me, I did 12 because I don't want it to be sewed down. I don't want my back to be so open. So some people do 15 or 16, so it depends on what you want. All right, so we are done with the front. Now I'm moving over to the back. I'm going to place this fabric again the same way I did the other time with the front, okay? So, and then I'll place the front pattern on top of the back. So guys, once you place this, please go ahead and arrange it so that it will all be in place. All right, arrange it. If you notice, the other side, the other edge of the fabric is on fold, so that's how the back is also going to be. So place everything to be in the same position, even the down to enter very well. So I have to mark the place that I notched in the front. That's where the back is going to start, and then I'm going to cut off this excess fabric that is remaining. I'm cutting out the same length for the back and the front. I'm cutting them the same length, and then I'm going to now fold this front, and then I'll be working with the back. I'm going to, from the top now, I'm going to measure to know how many I have here, so that I can take it all round. I'm not cutting it straight. You're not going to cut it straight for it to be very well, so that the top will also go round. This is a flay, so it should be going round and not straight, okay? So I'm taking it round, the same number, I'm taking it all round. So guys, after getting the lines, you join it up together, okay? Join all of the lines together, and then you get 1.5 inches upwards, okay? You guys remember that at the front we went down with 1.5, but here we are coming up with 1.5. This is going to be for the elastic, all right? So we are coming up with 1.5 inches here for the elastic, and then we are cutting on that 1.5 inches and not on the other line. We are cutting on the other 1.5 inches that we have up, okay? So this is it. I'm going to also trim out the other side so that it will be the same thing with the front. So now we are moving over to the sewing. Then right here, over to the sewing, I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and then this is the back piece. I'm going to fold the upper part of it, that first place that I told you guys I gave 1.5 inches for the elastic that will be passing through there. So that's where I fold. I'm done folding it now. You can see how it is, and then you're going to measure yours, measure the whole space there, measure it and know how many it is. Then you can divide by 3. You are dividing it by 3 so that you can actually get a so that the elastic will be tight when you wear it, okay? That's why you're dividing by 3. If you divide by 2, but if you are chubby, I think you should divide by 2. But if you're slim, I would advise you divide by 3 or even more, say, or 4, 3 or 4, so that because when you wear the clothes, it needs to be very, very tight. So I'm going to pass the elastic with my safety pin now. I'm going to pass it through that first area that I folded. So fashion lovers, so right here you can see that I'm done passing the elastic already. So the next thing to do now is to place this on top of the front and then stitch both areas. That's the next thing I'll be doing now. So you all can see that I placed it at that same area where I notched. That's where the back is starting from. So that's the same thing you're going to do for yours. You're going to sew on the both sides, sew it on the both sides. So please, when you're sewing yours, if you know you're going to put pockets, make sure that you sew up to like 1 inch out, okay, for the space of the pocket. And then I went ahead to hem the down of this gown already. So you're going to hem the down of yours like this as well, okay? So go ahead and hem the whole down, the whole all around it. Just hem the down, then go ahead and fold these 2 areas. Fold it, just a tiny fold, okay? So go ahead and fold it. After folding it, you now fold the upper part, the place you're going to be passing your strap. Just fold this side and then you fold the place you'll be passing your strap through. So guys, right here you can see that I'm done folding this place. I'm going to now go ahead and pass my strap through it. Okay, I'm going to pass my straps through it. This strap is very long. I'm also going to go ahead and cut it because it's very long. It's up to, I think, 3 yards. I actually wanted it to be long, but not to be that long. Okay, so after this, now I want mine to have pockets. You're actually done with this tutorial. If you've watched this moment, please do subscribe. Okay, so I want to add pockets to mine. So I placed my tape from that 12 inches. My half length is 16. So from that 12 inches, I placed my tape on 12 inches and then I have to get 16. From that 16, I went down with 6 inches and also marked it there. So I'm going to stitch and stop at the first place that I marked my shock, and also stitch from the other second place I marked my shock downwards. I hope you guys understand, which means that in the middle of that place, of the 2 places I marked shock, the middle of the 2 places I marked shock will be open. Okay, this is because I want to add pockets. If you're not adding pockets, I don't think you'll be needing this. So but if you want to add pockets, you have to stitch the upper side and the down side, and then you have to leave the other middle, the middle of the both places you marked your shock. You have to leave that place open. So I'm doing the same thing for the other side. Once you get your half length, you go down with 6 inches, you stitch the both areas, and then you leave the middle to be open. So you all can see me ripping the seam because initially I did not want to put pocket, but along the line I decided to now put pocket. So I'm done ripping the seam. The next thing I'll be doing is to cut out the pocket now. So right here I'll be cutting out these pockets. I'll be cutting them out. You can go ahead and freestyle any length you want. Okay, I did 7 inches for the side width, and then the length I think is up to 10 or so. So you can just go ahead and do your thing, feel free. Okay, and then I'll use this first one to also cut out the second one. Okay, I'm placing it on top of it. I'm going to use it to shape out what I want for the second one. I'm using the same shape, so I'm cutting it out now. The next thing I'll be doing is to go to my sewing machine and sew the round of it. I'll be leaving this place that is straight. I'm going to sew all the round edges, and then I'll leave the other place that is straight. That's where I'm going to be attaching the pocket from. So guys, you can see that I've gone ahead to stitch the whole round of the pockets and also the fabric on. So you're going to open your fabric of those 2 outer places that you sewn on. You're going to open it on up, then use a chalk to mark the place that your seam stopped. Okay, you can see that I marked my own. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to open it up like this. Then this is why I told you guys to sew up to 1 inch there if you're going to put pocket, because I didn't know I'm going to be putting pockets before. So I'm going to add this facing each other, the pocket facing the fabric. Okay, it's as if it's open now, so the pocket is facing the fabric now, the stitches are facing each other, and then one side of the pocket is facing on one side of the fabric. You guys can see one side of the pocket is facing on one side of the fabric, while the other side is going to face the other side. I'm going to stitch it towards the other side of the outer part of that fabric that I've sewn on. All right, I hope you guys understand this. Please, this space is a very tricky area, I guess, because if this is your first time working on this, trying to do this is going to be a bit tricky for you. So you guys to calm down so that you can actually understand what I am doing here. So you're going to be placing this side on the other side of the fabric that is remaining, that came out. Okay, so you're going to be placing each other. So this is what you're also going to do for the other side of your pocket area. So that is it for the pocket. You're going to seam it straight, like you're going to sew it straight up. Okay, you sew on the other side separately, and then you come to this side and also sew on it separately, and that will be it for the tutorial. I hope you guys understand this tutorial, especially this pocket side, this pocket area. But if you do not understand any of this, you can drop a question at the comment section. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for joining me in this ride. So see you in my next tutorial. Thank you.